in 2010, and then created the first Space with a Soul space in 2011. And the idea was to create a space for nonprofit and social enterprise organizations to come together where we could help take care of their infrastructure and let them focus on their mission. So the idea was, we want to do something called mission acceleration, let people focus on that thing that they do best, and to make their experience changing the world an easier, faster process. So Space with a Soul was created in 2011, it grew, and in 2014 merged into the Cambridge Innovation Center. So the Space with a Soul team and clients mostly came over here, and we started this Boston location of CIC. So that's how that started. And the Cambridge Innovation Center has been around since 1999 and has focused on doing very similar things, but focusing primarily on startup companies. And so we thought it was a good mission fit to create a space where both nonprofits and startup companies could have a place to change the world. Mission acceleration, and we really carried this idea to the Boston office of CIC and really into the CIC ethos. But ultimately, the idea of mission acceleration is to look at what is it that a company needs to do to succeed, and what does the company have to do to exist, right? And they sound similar, right? Succeed, exist, what's the difference? But actually they're different, right? If you are thinking about, okay, I have, let's use a company that isn't here, but is a well-known company. So there's a company that makes a soccer ball with a battery inside. So when kids kick the ball, it charges the battery inside, then you can plug a flashlight into it with a USB port, and then you can have light, and that's a way to provide light to somebody who lives in an area with no power, right? This is not a company here, it's just a company I've heard of, right? These folks, in order to succeed, have to figure out how do you manufacture the ball, how do you sew it, where do you do it, where did the battery come from, what happens if it gets dusty or wet. These things are important to succeed for the company. But in order to exist, it also has it has to have a place for its employees to come to and work, and a place where they can get a cup of tea, talk to other people. They have to have chairs, right, and tables, and all of these other things. And none of these things will change whether or not the soccer ball gets created, right? But you can't not have an office. If you need an office, if you need a place for people to work together physically, you have to have a physical place. And somebody has to make a whole bunch of decisions in the physical space that don't themselves have an impact on your own operation. So that's the thing you need to exist, but not the thing you need to succeed. But how does that get combined? When you build the right kind of physical space with the right kind of community, the people in the community have an interest in your well-being. And that changes everything, because people in that world are able to help you get better, right? And are able to help you figure out, maybe they know the right battery supplier for the battery that when it gets wet, it doesn't actually short circuit, but maybe it looks better when it gets wet. That's not something you're going to just be able to find in any office with any chair, any table. You're going to find it in a community of change makers. And that's something that we really pride ourselves on. Between Boston and Cambridge, the 3 CIC facilities have more than 1,000 companies doing all sorts of things. And companies, nonprofits, individuals, and that's all. It's more than 2,500 people. And that is a big community of incredible people looking to not only change the world, but willing to engage with other people on how to do it. And so that is a very, very different thing. So we help build the physical space and the community to make it so. So that is mission acceleration, right? It's being able to now channel your energy towards your mission and not worrying about it, right? So I just went to the kitchen, I got this cup. There's tea in this cup, but I didn't have to order the tea. And I didn't have to order the cup, and I didn't have to maintain the machine. I could just go to the kitchen, get a cup of tea, come back to my desk and keep working. And that freedom gives me a lot more time to focus on my mission. So between the people who are able to help and the things that are able to make it real, it's a big difference. I think ultimately, if you think about politics as one way to make the world different, better than it is I think that you can imagine that this is a different set of toolkit. This is a different set of tools, right? A different toolkit for making change. Thinking about politics as a way to engage large amounts of people to make big change, this is a way to engage very, very focused groups to make specific change. And so I think both are very valuable. In some ways, this is a kind of politics, right? But it's a way to really make a big difference. I don't know. I think if you look at the dictionary definition of entrepreneur, is usually somebody who's built a business, and an innovator, somebody who's had an idea. I'm not sure that there's really that I spend much time thinking about this. For me, I'm interested in people who have an immense amount of curiosity, right? Who are looking to figure out what is wrong with the world, figure out why it is that way, and what they can do to make it happen, right? To make some change happen in a positive fashion. I'm interested in those people. I happen to be incredibly privileged to work among them. It makes the work incredibly fun to do. They're amazing people. So it's great to be here with that environment. And I think that that's ultimately what helps people succeed, because you can have an idea, but like I was telling you in the answer to the earlier question, it's in order to make change, not to just say change, but to make it, you have to have other people feel that it is their change, not just yours. And so being able to be in an environment with a bunch of incredible people who are also making change, there's nothing quite like it.